French toast for the squad. One of my many Mr. Dixisms I use is, we're just throwing pickles at windows and seeing what sticks. And it means we don't know what we're doing, but we're figuring it out by trying whatever we can. That's exactly how we're running with Boys Group. Me, our social worker, and our campus monitor, plus 27th grade boys have been meeting every Thursday, and the three of us and 28th grade boys have been meeting every Friday since the middle of April. The goal is to identify our leaders, the positive influencers who inspire others to passionately pursue knowledge and get each other's backs via a compassion for one's peers, and the negative influencers who inspire others to vape in the bathroom during first period and get each other's back via fists and fury for one's nemesis. We all cram into a room, and we bro out, but we're trying to alter the connotation of what broing out means. The adulting apprentices come down during my sacrificed prep, file in and furiously squeeze in their last snap or text before they relinquish their phone to the gray crayon bucket. Ain't no distractions here. We are giving our all to each other, and we will not be tempted by the glowing rectangles we keep nestled in our pants pockets that vibrate every time someone remembers us. When we first asked them to do this, the adults guessed there'd be a 50-50 chance that everyone would bounce, ending Boys Group before it even began. And some did, and some hemmed and hawed like a folklore protagonist making a sketchy deal with the wizard in the woods, asking each other, "Bro, what you gonna do? You gonna give it up?" For a couple kids, the ultimatum was easy as they answered back, "Shit, Mom's been took my phone away. I ain't had one in 3 weeks." The group is a reminder that you don't move mountains by pushing Everest with one mighty shove. You do it over a period of almost Sisyphusian lengths as you lug lumps of pebbles in a holy sack that drains half of your gains before you even reach the new location. For every breakthrough, there's an argument or discomfort or boredom that sends a student beelining for the exit in frustration or indifference. For every successful grade check that has the young squires hyped to put their GPA on an elevator, there's an email from a third period teacher saying those same students showed up 15 minutes late and sauntered in swearing up a storm. In fact, depending on how you read our basic quantitative data points, you could argue that the group has actually hindered the Padawans. As a whole, their grades are down, tardies are still in the hundreds, and suspensions are hanging steady, so determining which pickles are sticking ain't as easy as we'd like. But there was the one day where our social worker told the story of the spoon in the property, and how the old man had the young man focus on the water in his spoon as he ventured about, only for the youthful wisdom seeker to realize that while no water spilled, he missed out on the rivers and mango trees and double rainbows that lined the land. However, when he swiveled his stare to absorb the beauty, he spilled every last drop from his silverware. The growing greenhorns then discussed the soup scoopers and mangifera indicas in their lives, sports, family, friends, girls, school, and one even shouted out, "I threw my spoon away a long time ago," but was too anxious to expound on that idea further. There was the one other session where we watched videos on birds of paradise performing mating rituals and compared them flashing their peacock feathers to us color coordinating our shoes, hats, and fits, compared their songs to our shit talk, compared their dances of seduction and dominance to us jumping up to slap the top of the doorway like we're smacking backboard at the park. We discussed how it's okay to show your wingspan off as long as doing so doesn't clip the wings of another. And to drive that point home, we shared times where we were so insecure that we felt the patterns printed on our wings weren't special. Like when in 6th grade I lost by 60 to an AAU team that opted to stand at half court and mean mug us rather than warm up. Like when my homie, the campus monitor, got tagged in a sparring match by someone significantly smaller than him. Like when somebody lost a baseball game by 20 runs or got nutmegged on the soccer field or didn't know the answer in math class. We talked about how sometimes we spread our wings to intimidate and overpower, and how we needed to make sure we didn't do that with people smaller than us, especially the women and the girls in our lives. There was that one other session where the campus monitor got really real and called the Cabbage Patch pupils a bunch of bullies for how they flex on folks, and the man that the boys respect and adore informed them that he don't rock with bullies like that, so if they want to keep picking on people, they can be sure to keep stepping when they see them. There was that one other session where an 8th grader said that the weekly kick at get downs helped him realize that these dudes weren't his competition. Because even though everybody had their own special uniqueness and personality, when you zoomed out, they were all just 8th grade guys trying to make sense of things. So we talked about a pale blue dot, home to our joy and our wars, barely glimmering in a photo taken from elsewhere in the universe. There was that one other session where we listed synonyms for the phrase man up. Don't be a bitch. Stop being a pussy. Don't show emotion. No crying aloud. And discussed how that phrase has kept us from growing in the past. Because there was no opt-out or pass in boys group, we circled up and everybody shared what made us feel like men. When we're emotionally strong, when we're physically strong, when we own our mistakes, when we make macaroni and cheese for our little sisters, when we do something we've never done before, when we tell someone we love them. And when I posed the question, does anybody know any women who possess these qualities? Somebody said their mom was the strongest person they know. And somebody else said their grandma survived cancer and strokes. And somebody else said their sister was their hero. When we broke from that seminar circle to build spaghetti marshmallow towers, one little homie grabbed a portable burner from the cart our home ec teacher rolled down for him, and he teamed with two more of his little homies to make up a missing home ec assignment. They mixed the eggs, milk, cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla extract and dipped slices of Texas toast into the concoction before throwing them in a hot frying pan and sprinkling them with confectioner's sugar. The situational chef, who was the one to mention that doing something new made him feel manly, flipped breakfast and passed plates to friends as they retrieved their phones and ventured back to their regularly scheduled program. I told him, "Look at you, being all manly." And all it took was cooking French toast for the squad. But not all pickles stick, and mountains don't move with a single mighty shove, and the home ec grade that jumped to a B is back down to an F. But we've got enough tidbits and anecdotes and enthusiastic questions of, yo, we got boys group today, right? Where it feels like it might be worth to keep flinging slices and stuffing the sack with gravel. Best case scenario, we help develop some young men who greet hurt with hugs and feel confident and comfortable with their purpose and place. Worst case scenario, we'll keep our bellies full. And ain't nothing wrong with that.